All right, it has been a while since I have done a video on the rainbow kick. And because I have so many new subscribers all the time and many people don't get to keep up with all the videos that I put out, because there are many, I wanted to do this episode again. If you don't know what a rainbow kick is, we're going to cover it. We're going to talk about the details and how you open up your opponent's head. And first and foremost, why do we call it a rainbow kick? Well, number one, it is essentially a roundhouse kick, but it doesn't have the same angle. We're going to be coming a little bit more rounded and then sweep it way over, and it's going to have that rainbow arc to it. How did I get the name? I was in glory, I was fighting, I threw it, and Duke Rufus, who was the commentator, went, "Oh, beautiful rainbow kick from Gabriel." And since then, because I didn't have a name for the kick, I just kind of threw it. It was something I played around with. Kind of learned it from watching Peter Arts, actually, but just went, oh, it's just a round kick to the head. But because of that name, many people now have been asking me about it, so I wanted to cover it again. Now, one of the big things that happens when we have an opponent across from us, especially in kickboxing, is we want to land the round kicks, but people are so good at keeping their hands up, right? They get that nice Dutch guard and they're not going to expose their head without you giving them a reason to. So the nice thing about this rainbow kick is it is all set up off a body cross. And when I come down to cross the body, many people decide they want to either use the middle of their forearm to block, or they overreach with their elbow and they go across. Either way is incorrect, but it exposes the side of your head, which is perfect for me. So if I'm moving around and I either throw a jab to the body, which in my opinion is very safe, or I decide to throw across to the body and I see these arms dropping in height, I know this rainbow kick setup will work very nice. So let's go through some of the details about how we actually throw this. Number one, our head does not stay high. Very often when I teach people how to round kick, I say, I want your head high. I want you almost like a ballerina coming up. I want you up high for the round kick. On this one, we're going to drop our head to the side. Why are we dropping our head to the side? Well, number one, it coincides well with our body cross, getting our head off that center line. But number two, it gives us good height in our kick. If you see me throw my kick high as I can, just keeping my head up, it's kind of like just up to the top of the head. Once I drop my head down to the side, I can easily go over top, if not even higher, if I really wanted to go with a little bit more speed, but I don't want to hit my belts. So bringing that head off to the side is going to help you open up the height of your kick. We put in the cross, our head's already off to the side. We can even leave this arm out here for a little bit. I don't need to have it indefinitely hanging there the whole time, but instead of going like that, I can kind of keep it out there for a moment. Now, one of the big things that I found is the time between the cross and the kick. Crushing that down is so important, because if I go and then into my kick, this person has already gone down, compromised their head, but down, back up. So I've really got to work that beat, kind of like 1, 2, 1, 2. I do like to preset my punches to the body. So I don't just walk out in round number one and go, oh, whoa. I need to make them think about this. I need to put some fear into them. So maybe I've been moving around, I'm hitting them with that jab, hitting them with the cross, seeing what they're doing with their hands, but really putting some fear into them. So now when I decide, okay, I'm going to show him this cross and really come down, I'm going to look down there. Eyes always play a massive part, by the way. If I'm looking kind of neutral, chest, neck level, and I go like this with my eyes, you can be sure they're going to see that to a certain extent. Do they react? I don't know. They shouldn't, but a lot of people do. When you look down and you go to throw a low kick or something, you can do a good fake, like, so same thing on this. I can drop my eyes. And then again, the time between the two is very important. I come one, and I don't stall here. I almost feed into it. Boom, boom. The timing is 1, 2. Coming through or hitting and pulling out, it's entirely dependent on what you hit. If you hit and your foot bounces off, then you do the rechamber. If you catch him and your foot sails right through, then you just let that kick do that whole arc right through. This is something that we saw Peter Arts do for many years. Your head, well, it's better to have it high very often. It doesn't always need to be. I wouldn't teach somebody to throw their round kicks like this, but it does serve a purpose sometimes. So play around with this rainbow kick. See if you can make it work for yourself. And most importantly on it, you want to make sure you are pre-setting that intention down low so they get very scared. And obviously defensively, because I'm dropping my head here, I need to make sure this hand stays up. I don't want to drop it and be hanging out down here for too long and then I get a round kick in the head myself. So when I throw, I'm coming down, this hand stays up, and you notice that I transition it from the side to my forehead midway through the kick, so I'm always protected from a roundhouse kick. I do that. I don't want to keep my hand here and then do my kick and then go, well, this hand serves no purpose because it's way in the back. So always play around with that rotation in general, right? If I have my hands here, I can bring my hand across. That's a nice element to add in. Let's call it there, guys. Thanks for joining. I'll see you back here very soon.